Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck guide for my budget Cthulhu Tempo Warrior. Now this is very much a budget deck designed specifically for players who are very new to the game, maybe returning to the game, essentially don't have a lot of dust to work with, so they can't craft the top-end decks, and they're looking for something that's still competitive and helps them to climb the ladder effectively without being prohibitively expensive. So that said, this deck is actually designed with a 600 arcane dust limit. It will only take you 600 or less dust to craft this specific deck. So it's about as cheap as it gets while still being a competitively viable deck. Now that said, this will not carry you all the way to legend ranks, but it's certainly capable of taking you perhaps to rank 10, maybe even rank 8 or so, if you get on a good run and you play consistently. Even if you're not good, it still probably can carry you something like rank 15. So don't expect to just destroy the ladder, but you will be competitive, you will be able to win games, and you will be able to advance, particularly on the back of win streak bonuses. So the design of this deck actually is, it's called a Tempo Warrior, which is a popular kind of deck right now. Essentially what that means is getting out onto the board consistently through the early and the mid game, and then leveraging cards which give you a tempo advantage and removing your opponent's threats pretty effectively, like Execute, for instance. Whirlwind is an AoE removal. You've also got stuff like your weapons from Arcanite Reaper and Fiery War Axe to essentially allow you to gain board value more quickly than your opponent, and then take that value and push it for the win. But this deck also has the Cthulhu spin, just because Cthulhu is so good for budget decks, because you do receive him for free. So you get this very powerful late game minion that can bail you out and win games that would otherwise be impossible, that it's hard not to include Cthulhu in a list like this, particularly when Cthulhu has so many different good minions along the way, like Disciple of Cthulhu, Beckoner of Evil, Cthulhu's Chosen, Twilight Elder. These are all good cards that have great stats, and the fact that they also enable your Cthulhu is really just a bonus in many ways, because they're cheap, common cards anyway. So you don't even feel bad crafting these cards, because they're just good and help you win anyway. So they don't compromise the deck. They really just add to it, because we'd be using other budget cards which don't really do specific things anyway. So this is a nice compromise that builds exactly the kind of deck we're looking to in a budget environment. So I want to go ahead and take you through this deck and describe exactly what each card is designed to do, and then we'll also take a look at an upgraded version of the deck as well for someone who has a little bit more dust, and then finally we'll take this out onto the ranked ladder to see it in action. So up first is Execute. This is a perfect 1 mana removal spell. Anytime an enemy minion has been damaged, you can clear them for 1 mana, so even the big Ragnaros and the scary stuff like that falls to the Execute. And we do have a couple different ways to activate Executes in this deck, such as our Whirlwind. We've also got the weapons, we've got Disciple of Cthulhu, Ravaging Ghoul, so it's not hard to get those Executes off in this deck. Whirlwind, deal 1 damage to all minions. That's great for clearing an enemy board full of 1/1s, which a lot of different decks will run, like Warlock or Paladin. It's also great for activating Executes, but also our minions benefit from activations like Bloodhoof Brave, for instance, Acolyte of Pain. These cards get better when they take damage, so there's also that side benefit. Fiery War Axe is just the perfect 2 mana removal option that can contest multiple minions that your opponent plays in the early game, giving you a huge tempo advantage and allowing you to stick minions for turns 3 and ahead in a pretty effective way. Acidic Swamp Ooze is another tempo card really that's just designed to destroy your opponent's weapon while simultaneously establishing a body on the board, and it's a basic card that's quite powerful as a tech card inclusion, so why not toss it in? Beckoner of Evil is another pair of free cards you get with Cthulhu, so really just the basis for a Cthulhu deck. It's a great turn 2 minion, it's got solid stats, and of course that Battle Cry starts the Cthulhu action, buffing your Cthulhu pretty substantially along the way. Up next is Shield Block. This is just a nice spell that's really more about card draw than armor. Armor in this deck's not a bad thing, because surviving is good, right? Having health is good, particularly when you're looking for a Cthulhu turn eventually. You might want to survive past turn 10 while you draw into that Cthulhu. So this is not a card you typically see in a tempo-style warrior deck. But still, it fits this one in particular because we do have to draw cards, and there aren't that many card draw options in the deck. There's just this and Acolyte of Pain, essentially. So we kind of have to rely on Cthulhu hitting our hand in a timely fashion because there's just not enough draw to guarantee that we get to him. But this helps that goal. Acolyte of Pain, another 3-mana card draw card. This one can draw you up to 3 cards in this deck, and there's a lot of different ways to activate it, so you can guarantee that it goes off. You don't necessarily feel good playing this on turn 3 just as a minion to contest the board, but it does generate a lot of potential value along the way. Disciple of Cthulhu, a great card to answer your opponent's board. 2-1 is not exciting for 3 mana, you might say, and it's even susceptible to all these whirlwind effects that we have. That's true, so you have to be kind of careful when you play this, but the deal 2 damage Battlecry is fantastic for killing stuff that your opponent plays, setting up executes even, and perhaps even activating your own minions like Acolyte of Pain. So there are some advantages there, and of course the Cthulhu Battlecry is nice too, getting our Cthulhu all big and beefy along the way. Ravaging Ghoul is another great new Old Gods card for Warrior. Solid 3-mana 3/3 body, but also a cool Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all other minions. So it's essentially another whirlwind effect we're adding into this deck, and I don't think I need to explain why that's good. I've already covered that a few different times. Twilight Elder, another solid 3-mana minion. You'll note we actually have a lot of 3-mana cards in this deck. Might seem excessive, but it's really not that punishing because they do work well on turn 5 and later as well. But Twilight Elder is just great stats, a good body for its cost. It almost always survives the turn it's played, which means you usually get a +2/+2 out of it, which is nice. Again, making our Cthulhu nice and beefy along the way. Bloodhoof Brave, yet another new Old Gods card. You'll note that most of this deck is Old Gods cards, which isn't always the case in my budget decks. But Bloodhoof Brave, a just fantastic 4-mana taunt. Very difficult for opponents to deal with, and it gets better as they deal with it, so it creates a lot of friction and tends to survive, and it's easy to activate the Enrage effect yourself to make it a big, scary 5/5 for 4 mana, which is really good. Cthulhu's Chosen, just an annoying, sticky minion. The Divine Shield makes it difficult for people to kill. The Battlecry is great for Cthulhu. It doesn't necessarily synergize with our deck in a lot of different ways. It's susceptible to whirlwind effects, obviously, that kill the shield, but usually you can time it in a way where you burn the shield first before you have to whirlwind it, and it is a core Cthulhu piece and a good 4-drop in general, so a good card to have. Kor'kron Elite, another 4-mana minion. This time, though, it's a 4/3 with charge. If you get out to a good start on this deck, you can sometimes just kind of bowl over your opponent with damage and kill them quite quickly. Kor'kron helps you meet that end, particularly with cards like Arcanite Reaper to follow it up, which is just tons of damage. You can also use it as removal sometimes, just to remove a minion and stay around on the board so that your opponent has to deal with it. But it's just flexible and a great card that fits into normal tempo warrior decks, and it's a free card, so of course it's going to make the cut in our budget list as well. Arcanite Reaper, tons of damage, can be used to remove minions efficiently, can be used for straight up damage to the enemy's face. It's just good to have on turn 5. Weapons are powerful in Tempo Warrior because they do provide tempo. They allow you to kill multiple things pretty efficiently for their mana cost, and sometimes just kill your opponent outright too, so that's always a nice benefit. Boulder Fist Ogre, just a big body to help you buy time to get to Cthulhu in this deck. You have a good early to mid curve, but sometimes it helps just to have that next big thing to drop after you've dropped the good 4-drop, the good 3-drop, and then finally the good 6-drop, right? So it's just a good free meaty minion, of which there really aren't that many when you look. You could even upgrade this to a Bog Creeper quite quickly and get an even better one with Taunt, but for now Boulder Fist is what fits the budget. And then finally, the big bad Cthulhu. This, of course, ties the knot on the deck, does tons of damage to your opponent from its Battlecry, gives you a huge threat as well. So sometimes he'll win the game outright, sometimes he'll just be a body that your opponent can't deal with that also wins you the game. And the constant threat can also change their plays in ways that benefit you too. So really just ties it all together. And that's it. That's the budget Cthulhu Tempo Warrior. So now that you've seen the full budget version for 600 dust, I want to go ahead and show you the upgraded version. Now this deck costs 1,200 or less dust. So as you build your budget version of the deck and you think you want to start upgrading cards piece by piece and finding new stuff to add in to make your deck look a little bit more viable and stronger overall. This is the kind of deck list you want to build towards, right? So cards like Blood to Ichor, it's a great another damage activator that also summons a really cheap minion, so there's just tons of potential value here. Battle Rage and Slam give you more card draw, which is good to refill your hand and, of course, draw you closer to that Cthulhu. Frothing Berserker is just a great 3-mana minion that's a huge threat. That if you get it out and use all those whirlwind effects and stuff that you have in your deck, it gets very scary very quickly. Beyond that, the only other new card is Ancient Shieldbearer. Now, this is really more of a Cthulhu card than a Tempo Warrior card, but you'll see this kind of fits the whole the Boulder Fist Ogre left behind with a big body, but also gives you a ton of armor as well. So it's kind of a Cthulhu synergy card that benefits you. So there really aren't that many new additions to the deck, just a few powerful rares essentially, but really Blood to Ichor and Frothing Berserker alone make this deck way more consistent and way scarier. So you can do a lot just with those, and the Ancient Shieldbearer certainly doesn't hurt either. So this deck is kind of halfway to a Tempo Warrior, so like a full Tempo Warrior. I don't want to show so many deck lists. Full Tempo Warrior would look like this, so you'll notice a lot of the same cards showing up, but no Cthulhu. But you'll note there are like 5 legendaries at the end of this list, so it's very difficult to build towards a Tempo Warrior on a budget. But I kind of merged the two together, and it still works nicely, and that's what the Upgrade Cthulhu Tempo does. It still gets you all the cards you need on the way to Tempo Warrior, also gets you all the cards you need for Cthulhu decks, so you can kind of split those cards in two without wasting your dust resources. There are no lost cards along the way. So that'll wrap it up for the list. Now I want to go ahead and jump into ranked play with the Budget Cthulhu Tempo Warrior. So we are rank 7 right now, which we're not even halfway through the season, so rank 7 is still mostly legend players ranking up, people who haven't had the time or who have been experimenting with budget decks like myself and have lost some ranks along the way. So this will be a very competitive environment. This rank 7 is really probably more like legend at the end of the month, or rank 1 or 2 at the end of the month. So that said, the deck may run into some challenges. I still think we'll be able to compete and win some games. We'll see. But even if we lose a few, just be warned that that might be part of the fact that this deck is playing beyond its potential right now. So as I mentioned, I think this deck is really designed for rank 10, rank 15 play for beginners. So against really refined decks and really strong, consistent players, you might see it struggle a little more. Looks like we're going to have a Zoo Warlock here. It's not the best start, so that's good. We'll play the Beckoner, certainly not the Ooze, because this contests that more effectively without dying. The Ooze probably won't get any value in this matchup other than just a body. That's kind of unfortunate, but it's no big deal. We've got the nice on-curve plays here. Just play the 3-on-3, the 4-on-4. Pretty simple stuff so far. That's kind of scary. It's going to generate a lot of value, but we'll go ahead and make this trade to deny that. We'll play the 4-on-4. Pretty simple stuff so far. This, like I said, this almost always procs twice. You always get good value out of these. They just are hard for people to deal with on turn 3. We'll probably play these on 5 since it's on curve. Follow up with the turn 6. We haven't seen any of our answer cards just yet. The executes, the whirlwinds, that kind of stuff, which I think we'll want pretty soon. He actually made a mistake. He could have played the Knife Juggler before attacking, and he would have gotten 2 knives because this was going to spawn after the attack, and he could have killed this outright, but instead we'll get a chance to kill it. And as I mentioned, we'll just play here. The Knife Juggler represents much more than just the 2 damage of its attack, is why I killed it instead of the Flame Imp. Because if he spawns 5 dudes right now, it's going to be a 7 attack minion essentially. So it's much more threatening than this guy. So yeah, I cited that mistake. It's actually a very significant one. If he'd killed my Twilight Elder, we would have been in a bad spot because we couldn't have killed the knife juggler. This would be nice to kill that because it's always good to take stuff off the board against Zoo. But the Boulder Fist won't be able to attack another turn delayed if I play this now. In other words, I'd have to play it next turn. It couldn't attack till the turn after. Playing this now, I can still weapon next turn because the weapon has charge, right? It can attack instantly. So you want to get the minion out first if you can. There's a few ways that's punished, perhaps, but not necessarily any major ones. I bet he's very surprised to see a Boulder Fist Ogre. This is not a card you typically see at high ranks in competitive play, but it's really not a bad one. It's got good stats. It's surprising people have trouble dealing with it. Alright, so that's not anything too scary. I wish we could War Axe and Ogre. Hopefully we get a good minion to play. We'll see. It's actually a great minion to play. So we'll kill here. We're actually going to clear his board, as I mentioned before. If you can, taking stuff off the board against Zoo style decks like this is really good because they benefit when things are on the board from the Power Overwhelmings, the Abusive Sergeants, the Defender of Argus, all that stuff. So we have a pretty good board right now. Good minion. This is a nice answer because this can activate and execute. Our weapon can activate and execute. We've got good stuff. We're a little out of cards. We wouldn't mind to see an Acolyte of Pain soon. Maybe even that Shield Block would be alright. Shield Block can even be better off the top sometimes because it's instant card draw and the Acolyte does take a turn in some instances. Oh my goodness, we're going to need that Whirlwind, I think. Yeah, we need a Whirlwind effect. See, this is what I mentioned. This is going to take us a little while to generate value, so I think we have to play this instead. I think we'll go ahead and execute this thing instead of trading. We have 12 damage on board that he probably won't be able to kill very effectively. I'm thinking about going face in order to set up a weapon. Like if I draw into a weapon next turn, I could have lethal. But he'll life tap down to 15 anyway, so I guess we have 15 represented on the board and the weapon. A Whirlwind effect would be amazing next turn. I could Acolyte, Whirlwind, kill his board, and draw a card. So Ravaging Ghoul, Whirlwind, all that stuff would be amazing. That's scary too. Oh, he's going to get a lot of value on trades here. I need some way to deal with this. I really still need that Whirlwind effect. I can kill this, but it requires a lot of resources. So obviously I'll play these. The question is, do I need to kill this, or do I need to go face, or do I need to kill something else? I think I'm going to kill other stuff to extract extra value. So, like, we're not in a risk of dying, right? We don't have to kill this. He can make the trade for us, which means this did 2 damage here. It's going to do 6 damage here. It's going to attack for 8 instead of just attacking for once, you know? And then this can finish it off for free in many ways, where we can draw here for the Acolyte. Like, that's actually pretty good, though. Now I don't have a way to kill that effectively. Or draw an extra card. So that's a little sad. We'll Whirlwind, but I'm going to attack here first so that the Whirlwind does not break my Divine Shield. 1 health is fine to lose. The Divine Shield is more punishing to lose. I think I have to do this. It's going to kill my guy, but I have to draw cards. I'm actually going to go face with this. I don't think we're dead yet, and we represent lethal on the board, right? We have 9 damage showing, and he is at 9, and he might life tap too. So we either deny the life tap, we force him to make a bad trade. He might want to trade this way, for instance, to preserve some health. He can't kill us. He already lost 1 Soulfire. I guess he could have a Leroy Jenkins into Power Overwhelming, which would kill us, but that's the only out, and that just seems unlikely. We've already seen one overwhelming. And if I had attacked him anyway, that's a little more annoying, especially if you can kill that. What is that? Third Soulfire. Yeah, that's actually a problem. That's a bit of a problem. This is a good draw. This is a good draw. Ravaging Ghoul doesn't actually help me any. A Whirlwind helps, though, because I can kill that. Kor'kron Elite helps, too. If I attack him, I'm at 12 right now. I can go to... I'd go to 3. I'd hero power up to 5. I die to too many things. I think I have to Kor'kron here. Instead of... And I'm going to go ahead and play that, because that thing doesn't kill it, and he can't life tap now, right? He gets 1 card. So he has to find a way to kill this with 1 card. That's why I went face instead of killing it. Putting a Warlock at 2 is actually a very powerful mechanic. Yeah. So he had it on something that dealt with this minion, which gave me even more time to find weapons and find answers and stuff, so... Pretty cool game. Tough win. Zoo is a hard matchup, particularly when he got a lot of good stuff off the, off the draw. And the Sea Giant, some good plays. The Soulfire made that really awkward for us, but we still found a way out. This deck has like a lot of. You saw we top decked a few times there. Essentially, we got that Acolyte down and were able to activate it a couple different ways. But you also saw the downsides of a couple of the Whirlwind cards, with like the Cthulhu's Chosen Divine Shield and the. We basically killed our own. Cthulhu's Chosen, yeah. We really want 2 drops, but Execute can be good depending on the kind of druid it is, but I think we'll wait and just hope we find it soon. Whirlwind's probably not good against druid, unfortunately, and we still don't have a 2-drop. We really want to get a 2-drop out. Yeah, we still don't have the 2-drop. This might answer anything he plays, but unfortunately it dies for free to his hero power. He's going to Wild Growth here, and we're going to be behind for a while. We're going to be behind. Actually, that's better than the Cthulhu's. It's harder for him to deal with and gets us resources. He might Wrath it, which is fine. He does not Wrath it. He ramps again. Oh my goodness, we might be in trouble. He has played a lot of cards to gain mana. You'll note he's on 6 already, and we're still on 5. But we started the game ahead. He still has a coin, right? So he could play a 7-mana card here. That actually buys us a little bit of time. I don't mind that so much. He's gonna coin Wrath, probably. We can actually Whirlwind into a Bloodhoof here. It's pretty good. The question is, do I play the Bloodhoof first, or do I play the Whirlwind first? In other words, do I want this to be a 5/5 or a 2/6? I think I play it first, because I don't know for sure that I'll be able to activate it next turn efficiently. Plus, I might just want to play the Boulder Fist next turn, so I could need the mana, right? Plus, he's at 7 mana, so he's going to be playing big stuff, probably. He's going to Innervate, Swipe, and clear my board, it looks like, which is pretty sick. That's a pretty sick play. No, Living Roots. Living Roots into Living Roots? Yeah, that's not as good. Still pretty good, but not as good. Don't have a... Could Arcanite Reaper, but I don't think it feels that good. I think I'm just going to Boulder Fist. Much I think I described last game, the Boulder Fist, the earlier you get it, the earlier it can attack. The Arcanite I can always play next turn still. And it was on curve mana-wise too, so... He's got a lot of good stuff out, man. Our hand's actually okay against Druid, though. I mean, 3 health stuff isn't great. But we might kill one of these instantly with the Kor'kron, right? What is this going to be? A 6 attack swipe. Man. I thought the last swipe was going to be good. That swipe was sick. What do I do now? I can execute one of those, but I think I have to save the executes from like my big taunts, right? I think I'm just going to Cthulhu Twilight Elder. We haven't played a Cthulhu card yet, I don't think, so that might surprise him. I think we're very far behind, unfortunately, here. His cards are better than our cards, and we don't have a significant advantage anywhere, right? We just have a little more health. He's taking a fair bit of damage, I guess. We can piece together a lot of damage, but the one thing Druids are really good at is taunts, right? They have lots of big taunts. It's going to be very hard for us to get like these Arcanite Reaper attacks through. This thing always lives, I tell you. It always lives. So I can play this, Ravaging Ghoul, execute, but again, I probably have to save the execute, don't I? But this can trade if I do that, and I can draw a card. Let's see what we get here. Probably just play that and trade. Alright, we're in decent shape. This thing can trade kind of effectively somewhere, but we still have damage. We can do 9 damage instantly if he ever lets his guard down. This is one problem of playing budget decks. Whoa, he's still running Keeper of the Grove. That's not something you see every day. I can just do this. Unfortunately, I'm going to give him this 1/1 if I... Actually, I don't know how that works. Hold up. Let's see. I think we give him the 1/1, right? But I don't really have an option, so... I don't have a lot of good plays right now, unfortunately. I kind of think I'm going to start racing. The Sylvanas really disrupted our plan. See, this is the taunt stuff we're talking about, right? Cthulhu would be a good draw, certainly. Help me deal with this stuff. But see, I can't even execute very effectively. A Whirlwind Effect would be a dream. Shield Block's a start. Doesn't really help me much, does it? He has 6-8 damage. We have 17 health. I think I'm going to play minions and hold my attack. The attack, I could execute that, but it's really bad. It would be a 1 attack execute. Oh, goodness gracious. I think we're kind of cool if he decides to go face here. If he gets really greedy, we might be able to sneak out a win. Right, we can do a lot of damage next turn. A Whirlwind Effect would give me like 13 damage. It's not good at all. I have to execute it now. I don't really have a choice. I don't have a choice here either. There's a chance he doesn't taunt and we win the game, right? We have 9 damage, but unfortunately he has a ton of cards and 9 damage showing. We only have 12 health, so Swipe wins in the game. Charging Druid of the Claw wins in the game. Yeah, that's game. But we had a shot, right? We if he traded here, we probably wouldn't have had it. We don't have a good way to do 2 damage out of hand. Disciple of Cthulhu, I guess, but he would have hero power probably too, so don't think we were going to win, but it was technically possible. That's alright though, we played a tough deck there. That was a full-on ramp druid who got the Dream, Wild Growth, Mire Keeper start, so that's really what makes that deck good, is the super mana ramp. The double Azure Drake into Swipe also really hurt. We didn't really draw our good minions, right? We didn't get the cool stuff late. Alright, we'll keep these guys. We'll toss the execute. I don't know what kind of priest this is. Probably like a control, damage burst priest. Maybe a dragon. Dragon would probably be worse for us. Acolytes we want to get out early enough, and Bloodhoofs we want to get out early enough that they can't Cabal Shadow Priest. They can just upright steal our Bloodhoof, which is like awful. So many times against Priest, if it's after turn 6, you have to hold you either have to hold your Bloodhoof until you've seen both Cabal Shadow Priests, or hold it until you can activate its attack, and they can't steal it. Of course, the downside to that is that if you hold it that long, then they may be able to use Shadow Word Death on it. But then, of course, you've got the Boulder Fist and other cards too that they can't use the Shadow Word Death on. So usually that's a better alternative than giving them a 4-mana card for free with the Cabal Shadow Priest. He's probably going to Hero Power Pass here. I don't know what else he'd play. Thought Steal maybe? Probably doesn't run Thought Steal though. We may go ahead. No, we'll just play the 4-drops. Like I said, we got to get those out before 5. We may not even be able to get this one out on time because he will have coin Cabal when we play this, or probably not. Actually, we probably have a whole turn. What's he thinking about here? We haven't seen our Cthulhu yet. He would have bailed us out of the last game, maybe. We probably still would have been in trouble. I don't remember what turn it was when we went down, but... it's actually a good play, but now he won't get to use that against our Bloodhoof. That's what he was debating. Because Shadow Word Pain, obviously, is another great way to deal with these. I don't know why he's roping us. What's the deal? You guys thinking about the Northshire, I guess? That's what we'll assume. So hopefully he doesn't have the second Pain here. That would really hurt. So yeah, see, when we play this next time, he'll be able to coin Cabal. We don't want that. We have to play the Reaper. And we still need a way to activate this too. So maybe we'll have to Ghoul. Ghoul Hero Power is fine. This guy really has a lot to think about here, huh? He could have an Arcanite. This Arcanite Reaper would trade fine, but we'd still be at risk of the Cabal stealing our Bloodhoof. So that would be kind of bad. We may even just Ghoul trade into the Arcanite at 4. He may also have the 4/3 for 4. I don't even know the name of that card. Can't remember it. That would be worse to trade into, but I don't think he's AFK, right? He played last turn right before it roped. I don't know. We're going to do this just to deny the coin Cabal, which he definitely has. I don't know if he has time to do anything, though. Alright, looks like maybe he just left. I don't know. We're going to play this on 6. It's going to get deathed, but then this will survive, so that's fine. That's good to activate this next time around. This might just be a freebie, it looks like. Arcanite's lethal next turn, so... I'll take it. I'm not happy about it, but I'll take it. Yep. Oh, we didn't get the killing blow. No! Oh, I'm like frozen. Whoa! I'm frozen in the attack animation. No! Ah. I don't know how to get out of the game. Oh, okay, that'll work. I'll point at the enter button. Nice. Nice. Alright, so we'll play one more. I was just going to play, that was going to be my last game, but since we didn't really get to see it in action, we'll definitely count that as a win. He just knew he was going to lose, so he left, right? He's like, oh, this guy's too good. I wasted my wasted my Shadow Word Pain on his Acolyte instead of his Bloodhoof Brave, so he realized the Tempo Warrior was just too good for him. It's another Druid. This is going to be a tough matchup. We need to get out really early. Like, we'll play the Ooze on 2 even. Never mind. We'll play that on 2. So we'll toss the Ooze back. It's not a great card against Druids, so we'll look for like a 3-drop instead. 4-drop's actually fine because we can coin a 4-drop out early. I could coin, contest, he can kill it with his hero power. Wouldn't have a good turn 2 right now, so I'm going to hold the coin. I don't have to rush necessarily. These aren't that scary. That's scarier, honestly. That's much scarier. I may just coin out the Acolyte. Yeah, I'm going to coin out the Acolyte since I got another 3-drop. This could get me a lot of value. If he Wraths, then he's not playing a big scary thing, like a Mire Keeper to get mana. And even a Wrath Right still gives me a card, so. It's a big scary thing, I'll be honest. Can't execute that. But I think I need to kill it, right? I can't execute it, but I'll waste my card draw here. I think it's worth doing. If he gets like a Mire Keeper, I'll be in real big trouble. And we still have a play to fill in, so. I don't feel too bad about that. Druid of the Claw is a little tough for us to deal with, unfortunately. That's probably worse, whatever it is. Ancient War is impossible for me to deal with. We can piece together 7 damage, but that's certainly not enough. That's actually good to see. It might really make a difference. I'm going to go ahead and just play this. No, it doesn't activate though, so it's only going to do 2 to that. I just don't have a good play at all right now. This is the best play I have, I think. And simply not attacking. Hopefully forcing him to trade into it. This goes to 7, and next turn I can technically kill it with a lot of work and a lot of resources. If he plays another big thing, I think we're just done. It's just gonna go face. Swipe. Trade. Wrath? I'm not sure what this is going to be. Starfall? Living Roots? Living Roots. Living Roots Hero Power Living Roots? No, he's got 1 Living Roots down already. Alright, so he actually had a bad turn. I still can't kill this, though. I still can't kill this. I'm gonna go ahead and gonna attack that way. The Korkron can kill it next turn, and I can hero power. I don't know. He's probably gonna just hero power that down. I'm gonna be at 8 health. Is the real problem. It's very scary against druids. I could technically hero power it myself, but I'm probably just dead soon. Well, that's not that scary. I can kill that with my weapon at least. But I'm not going to be up on the board. I'm going to be behind on the board. 2-drop would have been pretty good, I think. Fortunately, I have to send this into that. Oh, he didn't... What? That feels like a mistake to me, but I don't know. So we're at 7 health. We do have a taunt and a minion and a Cthulhu. So we're not out of the, we're not dead yet. We can actually recover here. He's obviously got a bad hand. It's probably like wild growth. That's not a bad hand. If he kills this, I'm really in trouble. He keeps going face. Is that right? I don't feel like that's right. Alright, I can actually kill this without repercussions and play a minion. It's totally fine. Play this over the Acolyte just because the Cthulhu actually matters, and we need a body to perhaps trade into stuff. We're out of range of like swipe hero power, but swipe Druid of the Claw obviously kills us. The taunt we desperately need to get out for charging stuff, but we also have to hero power. So I think we'll probably taunt hero power next turn. If he swipes that, oh, he's wrathing that for draw. He's not going to kill it. He's going to draw off it. He's been going face this whole time. I think he's actually focused too much on face. I think he would have already won the game if he just killed my minions. I don't know if I get it. 2-drop would be good here. That's not a 2-drop. I have to hero power. I can't play that, unfortunately. Because I'm worried about like swipes and stuff. Double swipe would still kill me. He's used Living Roots, so that's some reach gone. He's going to have trouble getting through this, maybe. The Cthulhu is 1 turn away. It's going to be very big. We got a shot to win this game. We need a shield block. Shield block would have been sick last turn. That is annoying. Super duper annoying. I need an activator for this. That's actually also good. I'm not gonna hero power. I'm gonna play dudes because I got to get through this, right? And I'm not gonna attack. Need my Cthulhu big. Don't want to kill this. So 2 taunts might be enough to keep me alive. The Cthulhu might be enough to restore the board. He probably has like a mulch for the Cthulhu. Who knows? But I need to live through this turn, and we're okay. Spellbreaker. Thank God I had the other taunt. Mulch? That's not actually enough to kill me though, right? He just has hero power. He's already Living Roots. What is... Oh my gosh! Charge Druid of the Claw? Swipe. Oh my god, that is literally the only 3 cards in his entire deck that wins him the game right there. Literally the only 3 cards in the deck. Wow. He's running Spellbreaker and... like the only 3 cards in the game that win it. The only 3 cards in the deck that win him the game right there. Hero power wouldn't have saved me. I literally can't believe that just happened. I mean, any of the 3rd damage card didn't matter, but the other 2 cards, like to get through my taunts, really. I had to play another one because I was too frustrated by the outcome of that game. We'll keep this. I'm keeping the Execute specifically for the Flame Wreath Faceless on 4, which otherwise will just dominate. Have a good 2-3. If he gets off to a slow start, we might be okay. I was really hoping to see our Cthulhu in that game. We had a chance to recover. Of course, we would have been at like 2 health, so hero powers, I guess, probably would have won him the game anyway if our taunts didn't survive. Well, this will be the last game for our budget Cthulhu Tempo Warrior, no matter how it shakes out. Hopefully we can win. But I don't know, it's going to be tough. Like I said, these are very refined decks that we're playing against. Look at this nonsense here. Like, look at this nonsense that we're seeing. So he's got mana next turn. This thing could test the board okay, though. He can't Flame Wreath yet. He's already coined, so we don't need to Execute yet. We'll probably be able to get the Acolyte out, but I'd like to see the Bloodhoof Brave, too. That's pretty good. Where's our Whirlwind? It's going to totally destroy this. Yeah, this is actually fine. It dies to 2 minions, nothing... this is a little better, though, I think. I don't know. He may not want to kill this, which sets up the Execute for the Flamed Wreath. Like, he won't want to send in 2 dudes to this. He's going to go face, play the Flamed Wreath, which will allow me to execute the Flame Wreath. Well, so that didn't exactly go to plan. Taunt Totem's very annoying when you have 5 attack weapons like this. We really need a Whirlwind effect into a Whirlwind effect. I can't even play the weapon. We're getting ran over right now. We need our Ravaging Ghoul and our Whirlwind to start piecing apart all these little 1/1s and draw cards. This is just really bad against the Taunt Totem. If he rolls a Healing Totem, I don't know if we can win. Wow, he's just going for it. Goodness gracious. That might help a little. We do have shield blocks and stuff to recover some health, but he also has the Hunter hero power, so I don't know. I think we're just dead next turn. Whirlwind effect's pretty good, actually. Let's see what we draw. Shield block would be a sick draw. We don't get the shield block, but we can clear the board. We can execute this one. Actually, let's trade here first. Bloodhoof's actually solid. We can even play it on curve too. There's a lot of spells that can kill us, but there's also a lot of charging and weapons that can kill us. So I think the Bloodhoof's better than the hero power right now. I still really need the shield blocks though. We might be able to stabilize, but like Lightning Bolt hero power kills us too. That's probably what that is. Don't snipe this, please. Oh, that's fine. We don't mind that at all. So the hero power doesn't actually kill us because we can always hero power ourselves to counter the hero power, right? And we definitely have to. I think we play minions first. And charging minions at that. There's like a chance we outrace him here, right? Like, we're going to have 14 damage next turn, no matter what, if we live. We probably have to hero power every turn. Shield block definitely puts us in the game. I mean, shield block is like, is great. Give me that shield block. Cthulhu does not do it right now. I think I kill this one. But that doesn't give me a 2-turn lethal. Maybe I go this way, because that still doesn't contest it. Alright, he's got a lot of damage that still ends the game. Lightning Bolt. Rockbiter does not end the game. He drew it. Shoot. He got some damage. Is it like Rockbiter Doomhammer? That doesn't do it, actually. Oh, yeah, it would. It would do it. Never mind. I'm dumb. You see, go 5/5. I don't know what... If he's got it, he's got it. I don't know what he's... I don't say well played until I'm pretty sure the game is over. I'm not sure yet. He's probably just teasing me. I don't... It's going to be frustrating if he's just BMing, but that's part of Hearthstone. That doesn't do it on its own. I think we win. Oh, we haven't actually won yet, have we? We were at 9 damage. Oh my gosh, he does have it. Wow. So, what did he just do? Didn't he have lethal? Oh no, he didn't have enough mana. Oh, we win. Wow. Oh, I thought he had 2 mana left for the... Oh, wow. I thought we were dead. I thought that was it, but he was out of mana. He was overloaded. I forgot he was overloaded from the Totem Golem. Sick. Good win. That was scary. We didn't even draw what we needed, but turn 9, we couldn't even Cthulhu for lethal. We top-decked lethal, actually, with that Korkron, so we definitely got a little bit bailed out there, but As you can see, the deck puts itself in positions to win. The Arcanite Reapers and the Korkrons give you tons of damage. The Cthulhu, we didn't actually get to see it, unfortunately, but trust me, when it's there, it can also give you tons of damage to win the game. Fortunately, we played some decks that did not exactly facilitate that process. So here it is, the Budget Cthulhu Tempo Warrior. I've been playing this a lot. It's tons of fun, as you saw. Pretty crazy deck. You do have to play it well, so if you try this out and it's not working, feel free to leave me questions on this video. I'm happy to discuss the deck and perhaps offer some advice if you didn't catch how to play it in this video. So that'll do it for this particular budget deck. Remember, there is an upgraded version as well back in the video, so look for that if you're trying to find replacements for these cards. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, game on.